word on the curb. Back at it. Turn this volume up. Chicken, can you hear me all right, brother? Let me know if you can hear me, man. Everyday special, how you doing? Look like we got something like a semi-full house tonight. Something like a semi-full house. All right, cool. Well, it is actively snowing outside right now tonight. So I won't be taking any walks. And usually I like to go out late, take my buck knife, and go film a video. I'm just playing, I ain't got no buck knife. It'd be nice though. Big 13-inch blade, razor sharp. You'll get cut just running into it. You know, that's like an old favorite weapon for a biker. What's the time for you right now? It is 11:39 p.m. What's the craziest thing I've ever done? Y'all want to hear a jailhouse story? I got a cool little jailhouse story, man. It's one of the craziest things I ever done. I can't tell you the craziest thing I ever did because I don't want to go back to jail. I'm 44 years old, brother. Look, man, I was in jail, right? And we were going to court. And it, you know, in the jail I was in, they got a bunch of cells with barred doors. So all the inmates from the jail, they come in, right? And they get assigned to whatever barred cell they gonna be in, right? So motherfucking you know me, I've always been a sneaky individual, right? No, I ain't mad at nobody, Gracie, but kick back, relax, and let me tell this story and tell me what you think, right? So I always been a sneaky individual, right? And that comes from other people, not myself. So I had this little pin that I got. It was just a little metal, little tiny rod, but it was a handcuff key. That's what I used it for. So we get down to the court holding, right? And first thing I do is I pop my handcuffs off and unchain myself from the inmates. I unhook the dude next to me and I unchain myself from him. And then I put my little pin back in his hiding spot. And it don't really matter because at the time, the cops ain't gonna remember. They just gonna be like, why ain't you chained up? And I don't know, they didn't chain me up. So anyways, we file in the court. I go to my court date. You know, I get my little bad news and shit. And about, I don't know, 45 minutes later, they file us back into the cells. And by that time, the guys from the prison are coming down for their court dates. So I'm sitting there, right, minding my own business, and this heavy-set Mexican dude walks by, and he like mean mugging everybody in the cell. So me and him lock eyes, and he say some old bullshit to me, right? And I just laughed, and I'm like, man, all right, whatever. So when all the court is done, right? All the inmates have to come out of the cells into a hallway, right? And so it's crowded in this hallway, right? And that's where the elevators are, so whatever inmates can go back to wherever they going, right? So, you know what I'm saying? I'm standing there, and the door at the end of the hallway opens, and I see the same Mexican dude, right? This time, by this time, I'm already chained back to the other inmates, right? So I'm sitting up here like, man, I should unchain myself, but I don't want to risk pulling out my little pin and unlocking my cuffs because there's guards in the hallway, and if they see me, you know, you get in big trouble for stuff like that. So anyway, my legs weren't handcuffed, you know, the only time they shackle your legs is when you leaving out of the jail. So our legs weren't shackled, right? But the dude from the prison, his legs were. So he saw me. He what's up now, mother? I'm like, what's up? Like, what you talking about? So he walks right up to me, man. Out of all these motherfucking inmates, this dude walked. I don't even know this dude. Never seen him before. Don't know nothing about him. I just know he had long hair and a ponytail, right? So I look at him in his face, and I put up my handcuffed arms, and I was like, bro, I'm in handcuffs, homie. I can't do nothing, man. And he puts up his arms and he says, well, I am too, homie. Man, I must have took a step back and horse booted that fool in his stomach so hard he doubled over and fell on the ground. The whole hallway in the jail started like erupting, like, oh, this fool just kicked him out. And then, like, the guards, they grabbed me and tackled me to the ground. I got in trouble for that shit, but not really, right? That was like one of the craziest things I ever done, man. I booted some inmate in the county jail because he was talking shit, man. And he deserved it too, man. And we was in handcuffs, so it was like I wasn't worried about getting hurt. Only thing I was worried about was the police hurting me, man. Like dipping me on the floor and you know, damaging my beautiful scalp. That was the only thing I was worried about. But I did some crazy things, bro. But I can't, you know, I can't. No, he was bigger than me though. I ended up finding out who he was later, right? He was on PC, right? He was on protective custody, but not because he was a chump. He was from a prison gang, per se, that don't get along with another prison gang. And the prison gang that they don't get along with is a bigger faction, right? Which is the Southsiders. If you don't know about the Southsiders, I ain't gonna sit here and explain it though, but the Southsiders are way more in numbers than them, so the Department of Corrections decided to lock these dudes down. So dude probably wasn't no chump, and we probably, in the right situation, he would have gave me a run for my money, but I would have got down with him, man. I didn't fought big people all my life, man. I got in many fights with dudes bigger than me, man. That's why I learned how to fight, man. That's why when people tell me, oh, you wouldn't say that to somebody bigger, and I'm like, bullshit, you better check my track record, man. I got many incidents with motherfuckers bigger and meaner looking than me, and I still came out looking handsome. Except there was this one time, though, that when I was in California Youth Authority, I got into it with this blood dude, man, and he put me in the hospital for 5 days, man. That dude beat my ass so bad, I'll never forget that fool, man. I got my ass whooped. I'm talking about 5 days in the hospital type of ass whooping. And if you guys been following everything I said up until now, you'll remember when I spoke about having my nose broke and my cheekbone cracked. That was that dude who did it. And it was just a regular fist fight, but imagine getting into a fight with a dude, you're 5'4" and he's 6'3", super skinny, but got hands twice the size of yours. So every time he punches me, his whole fist is covering my whole face. Man, the dude messed me up, bro. And then when I went to the hospital, I was in shock, so I started throwing up everywhere. This eye was swollen shut, like completely shut. You couldn't even see the eye, right? And the doctor told me that's why I started throwing up, because I was in shock, right? And so I had to stay in the hospital. They had to x-ray my face and shit and everything. And this is a true story, man. This shit really happened, man. There's documentation on this shit. Somewhere out in the world, you can go pull up these files, right? It's probably in California, right? So we fought twice, though. That was the crazy part. So the night before, we had words, because like he back in the 90s, he was like real turned up. And you know, he was gangbanging at the time, so he was real turned up, and I don't know, it was just something about him I didn't like, man. I knew he was bigger than me, and I knew he wasn't no chump, but it's still, I just wasn't scared of him, right? So somehow we ended up passing each other, and we had words in relation to some gang related shit, right? So he initiated the fight. He was like, well, shit, blood, we can go fight right now. So I was like, all right, let me go put my shoes on then. So I went, I put my shoes on, and we met in the bathroom in the shower area, because the shower area at the time was a place where they had these stainless steel shields that blocked the guards from that sit inside of the bubble from seeing naked inmates into the shower. So if you kind of crouch down a little bit, or you wait for the guard during like the times when you're able to move around, the guard will leave out the office, and if you just want to fight somebody, you can go in there and you can get them up, right? So that's what we did, right? We went in there and we got him up, right? And it's crazy because the night before I got the best of him, right? He kind of dotted my eye, but it wasn't black. I just had like a little bump right here, but I split his lip like an inch out. That's why he was mad at me, and we fought again, right? His lip was split really bad, but he didn't even go to the hospital. He just kept a towel on it all night. So the next day, right? And that night I slept with one eye open, you know what I'm saying? You know, the old put a combination lock in a sock, double it up and tie it up just in case he try to run up on me while I'm sleeping. I can do something. So the next day we go out to the rec yard, man, and I'm kind of just hanging by myself that day because like my homeboys know that me and him had the issue the night before. So everybody kind of just seeing what's going to happen. So I'm kind of just walking by myself and just, you know, minding my business, but they're sitting in this area called the pit, which is the pull-up area, and it kind of goes down 2 feet and you can sit in it, and there's dirt and rocks. Anyway, they were sitting right there. So my dumb ass, I go walk over there, and he's got like him and 3 of his other homies over there, right? So I go walk over there and I sit down next to him. No, first I do some pull-ups, then I sit down. And then I hear him talking, and dude name is Looney. He starts saying shit about me. So I turn around like, man, what you talking about, man? We can get out again, right? So he jumps up immediately without like lightning quick. I was like, all right, this probably gonna end bad for me, because you know we out in the open today and we ain't trying to crouch down. So I'm like, all right, you know, let's do it. So we start squaring off, right? And like I said, this dude is 6'3" and I'm only 5'4", so he got like a foot of height over me, reach and height. So we're squaring off, and like he hits me. The first punch stuns me, like boom. I'm like, all right, I'm just gonna fight just so I don't look like a pussy, but I'm not gonna win this one. So I kept fighting, kept my head up. That's why my face got messed up, because I kept my head up. And he just pummeled my face. Boom, 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 boom. I didn't even get a good hit in, man. Not even one. And then I didn't even know I was that messed up until the nurse came on their little cart and took me up to the infirmary. And inside the infirmary, you know those buildings where they got, it's like buildings where there's no cameras, right? But instead of having a camera on a corner, they'll have like that big bubble mirror, so it'll help you see around the corner, right? I walked past that, and I damn near fainted, bro. My whole side of my face was just, I'll never forget that shit, right? So, but the plot thickens. He ended up getting jumped later that night for that fight. My homies ran up on him at night late while he was in the bed and jumped him for doing that shit to me, man, because he fucked me up, man. He put me in the hospital for 5 days. And I know he probably didn't mean it, but like when you look at a dude that's 6'3", beating the shit out of at the time I was 15, man, and I was only 5 foot. I was little to be 15, man, you know. I had a little size on me though. I wasn't skinny. I don't know. Probably not, you know. In California, probably not, man. A lot of cats from that time in my life are they all gone in the cemetery. A lot of them. But Um, so I get to the infirmary, and the first thing they want to do is transfer me to the main hospital because they want to X-ray my face because that's how bad it looked, man. Just picture this side of my face, I mean, just unrecognizable, right? Plus, my nose was bleeding because it was broken on this side, and it was bleeding. Like my nose bled for like a half hour straight, man. I thought I was losing so much blood, man. And then so I get to the hospital, and it's so the way they do it up in that institutional complex, right, is like it's not just one facility, right? It's a community of facilities, right? And so they got the one I was in, and then they got one next door, and then they got another one and another one. But like it's out in the countryside of Northern California, and when you get up there, you got to have clearance just to get into the community because it's owned by the Department of Prisons. So everybody on that property are personnel that work for the Department of Corrections. So if you got a serious injury, you got to leave out of that place. But the place is so self-sustained that they literally got their own little hospital inside of this little institutional community. But you're not inside of the prison no more. You're just fenced in inside of the property, but you're not inside of the institution that you're in anymore. I can't explain it. It's like when you're inside of the institution, you're fenced in inside of being fenced in. But when you go to the hospital, you get to leave out of that fenced in area. So you feel free a little bit, but you still fenced in inside of the institutional community, right? Depending on which way. So anyway, I go to that hospital, man. Damn, I hate explaining shit because I'm terrible at it, right? So I get to that hospital, man, and then they got a little holding cell in there. And I'm the only one in there. It's like 5 o'clock in the afternoon, right? And it ain't dark yet, but like the sun is on its way down. It was like the end of summertime, so it was still warm outside. And as soon as I got into that cell, I started throwing up, right? Nose bleeding, throwing up. And the doctor rushes over to me and he goes, man, hey, don't worry, man, about throwing up. You're in shock right now. That's what happens when you get like a traumatic injury. So I'm like, all right. Man, this is messed up. So they scheduled me to go see the doctor. Now I get to leave outside of the community the following day. Like the van comes, they put me in a jumpsuit, cuff me all up and shit, man, and I get to leave and go to the main hospital. So they see me and they like, damn, somebody fucked you up. And so they x-rayed my face and come to find out I had a little crack on this part of my bone right here. Just a little crack, right? And so there, you get a crack, you can't put a cast on your face. So, they just kept me in the hospital for 5 days, right? And they said, we just gonna keep you till the swelling goes down so we can check out your eyeball and make sure everything's good. So when the swelling started to go down after like the 3rd day, I started to be able to see my eye. This whole outer part of my eye was like just blood red. Like it wasn't like bloodshot, it was completely red. Like, man, that dude messed me up, man. I hope he's not dead. That'd be messed up. But I survived it, you know what I'm saying? And I got my little stripes too, because we fought twice that in 2 days, in 24 hours we fought twice, man. And the first time I got him, and I think that's why he was really mad, because he knew he could whoop me, but I don't know how I was able to split his lip right there. And then the next day, he didn't send me right to the hospital. But anyways, yeah, man, that's stay out of jail, kids. T, Chicken is saying he has tuberculosis. Oh man, Chicken, you got tuberculosis? I mean, I don't know if it's true, but I know if he does, that's unfortunate because tuberculosis is deadly, man. But today's advancements in modern medicine You can have it and you can heal from it, but it does leave scarring on your lungs, and it's painful. And I hope he's kidding about that, because, you know, another thing about when I was locked up at that time in my life, they had mandatory TB testing, man. And if you didn't test for tuberculosis, then they would quarantine your ass. Like you had to go sit in a damn cell by yourself until you were consented to test, because tuberculosis is a very, very dangerous condition, man. Like back in the cowboy days, you ever seen that movie Tombstone? You remember Doc Holliday? He had tuberculosis, man. And you see how he ended up. He passed away. You know, that stuff is bad, really bad. It attacks your lungs. Can you wash my edits? I don't even know what that means. Wash your edits. Man, I don't even know how to wash my own edits. Chicken says, brother, you played Red Dead Redemption 2 before. No, I never played Red Dead Redemption. My daughter has that game, but I never played it. I was thinking it was either, tonight was either I was going to do this video right here, or I was going to video game for a while, but I decided that I didn't feel like jumping on PlayStation tonight. I didn't even feel like it. Flame Warrior is back like he never left, and he says, God, I can't read because he pushes that shit out so fast you can't even read it. I knew a cowboy before. Dude got TB and got fucked over by a rat big time. Didn't end well for the dude, for real. No, like I said, tuberculosis is a very, very unfortunate condition, and lots of people pass away in third world countries from that shit. Like a lot of tuberculosis in Mexico, a lot of tuberculosis in places like Brazil. You know what I'm saying? Where there's a lot of people, and you know, really bad conditions, like places in India. Oh my God, I don't even want to speak about India. India's got so many diseases, bro, that it's amazing, man. How, and you know why? Because there's so many people in India. It is like an overcrowded place of the world. But I would still go though. I'd still go, and I would eat at a fine dining restaurant in India somewhere, man. I ain't eating none of that street food. They can keep that shit, but I'll go to a fine dining restaurant. Hey, Flame Warrior, man, what is your problem, bro? I told you before about that extremist shit. It's okay to be a godly man, but to sit here and do this shit, that's not okay. Because you trying to use God to troll with, and I don't appreciate that. That's a good way for me to go ahead and block, like, ghost you from the chat, man. Like, all right, we get the point. I promise you, man, if in the way that this is coming out, I'm pretty sure this is a bot. But you know, whatever. Just kick back, bro. It ain't that serious, man. It ain't that serious. You know you ain't living like that anyway. You know, you say all this shit, and I guarantee you be cussing. Your shit stank. You be having road rage. You eat too much. You watch bad TV shows. So stop acting like you just the lieutenant of the God Squad, homie. That type of shit. You know what, man? I've been thinking about starting a whole new channel, and I'm gonna tell you why. Because I've been watching all these videos, right? And man, just with a simple computer, man, hey, anybody, man, listen, anybody, if you know what you're doing, right? And it doesn't even take a lot to know what you're doing, right? Anybody can create successful content, man. Anybody can, man. Hey, man, how many people out there in the cyberspace eat boiled eggs, bro? We got any boiled egg eaters out here, man? Because me, I eat boiled eggs, bro. Hold on. I eat boiled eggs. Did you know that boiled eggs are good for brain function? And the reason why is because the brain is made out of cholesterol, right? And eggs, the yolk is high in cholesterol. So if you want to have a good brain, bro, eat a boiled egg. Just eat it. And that's a good boiled egg right there, boy. I don't even need salt, pepper, or none of that. I eat liquid egg when I'm making an egg sandwich. But with a name like chicken, I wouldn't doubt it. Hey, but you know what? Liquid egg is good for you too. Gracie says, T, what are your thoughts on the newly released Epstein file? Elon Musk wanted to go there. Man, I'm going to tell you guys like I said last night, man. Oh, good guy activism. Glad you popped in, man. I just went and watched your video the other night. Hey, man, you are a funny guy, bro. I just want you to know I am subscribed to your channel, man. You a funny dude, man. Be careful when you out there trolling them police, though, man. But I like your shit. I do. I ain't gonna lie. Hey, man, everybody, man. Hey, go subscribe to Good Guy Activism, man. He got a great channel, and it is popping. That's only if you don't like the police as much as we do. I don't hate them. I just don't like them. You know, I just got through telling you stories about being incarcerated. So, you know, I've been on the wrong side of the law a majority of my life. And I can't help that. That's just the way it went. I wasn't born to a rich family with all these college graduates. I wish that could have been my reality, but it wasn't. It wasn't. We were poverty stricken. I went to court today and got a discon ticket dismissed and then got arrested. Yeah, I seen that, the latest one you just dropped, homie. I went ahead and watched it. And it was funny, man. That lady cop you was talking to, she was hot though. That lady officer, man. If she wasn't a damn cop, I'd have been trying to get her number. Oh. But hold on, I got sidetracked. My bad, Gracie. Let me. So, what I was going to say is this. What I think about the Epstein files is that the Island Boys are named after Epstein Island. And that the Island Boys are named after Epstein Island because the Island Boys are Epstein's sons. They're twins. And there's pictures of them back when they were 6 and 7 years old, hugged up with their daddy. It's a small world we live in. And I also feel like, why would the governments of the world create a system that would tear down something like that when they're the ones that created it? I don't pay attention to the Epstein files because there's no point in paying attention to none of that shit. Ain't nobody in jail for it. And the man that was supposed to be the orchestrator got hanged in jail. You know, a place where people don't get hanged at. But so I don't really pay attention to the Epstein files. I just see little information come across my timeline, and if it's interesting, I pay attention to it. But for the most part, hey man, Epstein was doing a job for a bigger conglomerate, and that's what it boils down to. Just like this egg, Epstein was not the devil. He was just the liaison for a big corrupt system that is still operating right now. You think just because Epstein Island is closed down? What about Epstein Cave? What about Epstein's underground city? What about Epstein's warehouse? What about Epstein's container ships? What about Epstein's private airlines? What, like, Epstein dude was a multi-billionaire. You feel me? So, cause the island is gone, that means Epstein is gone? No, not at all. I hope that answered your question temporarily, Gracie, because now I want to answer David Plott, because I don't understand what he's saying, because I just bought hot dog buns and mine had 8 in the pack, the buns. But you know what was weird? We ended up with a 4-pack, so we had 4 buns left over, and I'm still trying to wrap my mind around that. Yeah, but don't worry about it, Gracie, because stuff like that is like, imagine a bucket of water, right? And you take a nail and you poke a hole in it, and you leak out a little bit of water, and then you plug the hole with your finger. That little water that fell out of that bucket, that was Epstein and his island. The rest of the corruption is still in the bucket. So, Epstein is not worth my time. He's not worth my thought, my effort, anything, because I know that he is just, he was just a liaison, right? He was just a facilitator. I don't know what he was. I don't really have any facts about the dude. I just recently started hearing his name the last couple years, but like before that, like we always knew the shit he was on existed. It's like I said, what about Epstein Underground City? What about Epstein Cave? Epstein Warehouse? What about Epstein Foster Home? You know, what about, you know, the Epstein Meat Market? What about the Epstein Airlines? You feel me? Like the Epstein Container Slave Ship. It's like you can go on and on and on. So just like, your best bet from my perspective and my humble opinion is don't worry about Epstein. He's in a better place now. You know, but at the same time, he can confess his sins to Charlie Kirk, respectively, of course. But to focus on that one man is to take the focus off all the other tens of thousands of fucking piece of shit corrupt motherfuckers that rocked with him. So I ain't tripping off Epstein. Like, he's just one guy. He's just one guy. And let's be real, corruption never got corrupted by just one guy. Corruption takes a team of motherfuckers, right? You can't just, one guy doesn't create corruption out of thin air. It takes a group of people. So, you know, Epstein, hey man, I don't know much about the guy, but I ain't got nothing really bad to say about him, just because if I'm not willing to say anything bad about the other motherfuckers that did way worse shit than him. No, I watched the long form video. I think it was the long form. Either way, I'm subscribed, so I'm gonna go back, good guy, and I'm gonna watch it again. But I just remember that lady cop you was talking to. I thought that was pretty funny because on one hand, she was looking good till she started acting like a real fucking cop. And then I was like, see, that's why it don't matter how fine they are. When that police comes out, it turns me off every time. It's like, how you gonna be fine and a police? That's like, that's like canceling out your fineness. Now, if you like a cop to get your money and you're like, you do modeling at night, then that's different because then you still gonna be trying to act pretty. But if you just fine, but just act like you're not, you just act like one of the guys, I don't like that. I knew a lady like that too. I ain't gonna say her name, but that's how she was. Like she was fine and didn't even know it. Just didn't even know it. She was too busy being a police to know how fucking fine she was. And I was just like, maybe she knew she was fine. I don't know. But I don't want to, I don't even want to say nothing. I'll tell you who got some fine police right out here in Detroit. Hey, give me a second. I'll be right back. All right, man. Let's get back to it. To it. There's a lot of pretty lady cops in NYC. I bet it is, man. I keep saying I'm only 600 miles away from New York, but I'm 600 miles away from Buffalo. I'm about 900 miles from New York City. But I would go. I just need some money. I wouldn't go in the wintertime. Y'all get crazy snow out there. And ever since I seen that blizzard in Buffalo, New York, where all those people froze, man, I ain't doing it. I am not doing it. But yeah, you would think NYC police were kind of cool because of the community, that the way New York is set up, where it's violent, but it's not like the worst place in America, right? But it's still got its share of bullshit, I suppose. But I know Chicago better calm down, or they gonna end up with the Trump gonna send the National Guard back out there. ICE already out there. Police already out there. So just imagine if National Guard pop up. they gonna be in trouble. They ain't gonna know what to do, man. They gonna have to surrender all those firearms. And I know they spent a lot of money on those weapons in Chicago, so they need to kick back, man, and stop gunning each other down, bro. Cause that shit's getting old, anyways, man. I mean, I understand, the street lifestyle. People think they know it be senseless violence, but people don't be knowing what the fuck they talking about, man. Half this shit don't be senseless. It be all kind of shit going on in the streets, man. It be all kind of shit going on, man. Like, I can't even get into a lot of shit that be going on. When you see a homicide happen, bro, like, you do not know the half of the reason. And even if Facebook or YouTube drops a story about it, and you get to, really understanding, why it happened, it don't just be a bunch of young dudes, unaliving each other. But it do, though. But it don't be just that. It be street politics, man. It be puppet masters behind the scenes that be having a lot of money, and they want to protect their investments. And sometimes to do that, they henchmen got to put in work. And then we see it, the people that don't know anything, and we're like, oh my God, that is so tragic, man. People need to stop the violence. But, like, as long as there's drugs in America, there's going to be violence. No, let me rephrase that. As long as there's drugs in Mexico and Brazil and Ecuador and Belize and the Caribbean and Canada and all these places, there's gonna be crime. Period. I'm gonna tell you like this, man. In Detroit, if you pass over Detroit River, you end up in Windsor, Canada. Looks like a regular. It actually looks a lot like Detroit. Like, a lot of parts was built to look just like Detroit. So you go over the either you're going over the Gordie Howe Bridge or you're going over the Ambassador Bridge, right? You go over the bridge and you end up in Windsor, right? But it looked like Detroit. Only difference is you in a whole nother country. You ain't even in America no more, right? But this is what I'm trying to get at, right? On about every couple months, they bust a truck coming across the bridge, and it's always coming from Canada. It's never going to Canada, right? It's always coming in from Canada. And they always bust some dude with like 800 bricks or some stupid astronomical amount of bricks on his truck. And you could just imagine, like, somebody just took a major loss. I'm talking about, man, 800 bricks? You talking $200 million. That's not what he paid for it, though. That's just the street value. A lot of them type of purchases, they get a lot of that shit on consignment. You spend 50 million, you will get 800 bricks, right? But those 800 bricks are worth $200 and something million, and you only spent 50. So just, imagine that, right? You got $50 million to spend to make 200. So as long as you got shit like that going on, it's always gonna be violence. Everywhere. People like to blame it on the YNs, but it don't. The YNs are just the ones willing to go do the work because they get paid. They get paid. Nowadays, they're not like regular just gang murders. They be hits. People be getting hit like the mob used to do in the 80s and the 90s. They still do, but they just quiet about it these days. But we're loud as fuck about it, but they still be hits though. And I'm only talking about this shit because of what just happened in Chicago. It's been all over my damn feed. I'm really kind of tired of seeing shit like that, right? I'm tired of seeing shit like that anyways. It's just like, I could think of a million more pleasurable things to think about and look at than seeing a snuff video. But for some reason, you know, ever since Facebook turned Meta, they just had an endless stream of snuff videos. But I guess Facebook always had snuff videos, but they used to be harder to find. Now you could just find them scrolling. And what kills me is just, imagine the kids that be scrolling Facebook. You know, I know some of my exes that have kids, they used to get her phone and they would scroll on her Facebook. And whatever was on her Facebook, they got to see. No age limit, no advisory, no filter, just adult content going right into a child's brain. So we don't need TV no more because we got these phones, bro. We got the phones. But let me tell you guys something, man. Forget about that. If you want anything out of life, man, that's what I want you to do. Stop asking for it and start demanding it. Power is never given, it is only taken. And if you can remember that, you'll be successful, man. Don't ask for stuff, demand it. And remember, power is taken, but never given. Isn't Facebook where Ronnie McNutt, I don't even know who that is. I don't know who that is, but I've seen some shit on Facebook that easily could have went on Best Gore's website. You know, Best Gore was one of those websites where you had to have a stomach for that kind of stuff, because they showed you some things that right when you think you've seen it all, if you ain't watched Best Gore's videos, you haven't seen it all. You haven't seen it all. Not by a long shot. And Best Gore has a way of letting you know that you haven't seen it all. Man, I seen a video of a dude probably somewhere in Russia, man. I don't know where he was at. But he was about to unalive himself with a combat shotgun, like a military type combat one, though. Not your little Walmart Daisy that you can go buy out the sports section. No, not one of those. This one here was something serious, right? And he was talking for like, I don't know, a few minutes. Damn, it's kind of messed up because I just had a vision in my mind. The video started off like this, where he was just talking to the camera, but sitting on his couch. But he was holding the firearm the whole time, right? Next thing you know, I don't know what he was saying, but whatever he said, he had spoke his piece, right? And he put the thing in his mouth and pulled the trigger, right? And all I seen was his head went whoosh, like a balloon. I ain't never seen no shit like that in my life. It was like a balloon with a face. And then all the gory shit came very, very shortly after. But just imagine, man, taking all the air and lead from a buckshot. It makes your face go whoosh, like a balloon. And if like you got a really good video camera where you can like freeze frame it, man, listen. Yeah, that one right there had me on repeat for a minute. I was stuck. I had to keep rewatching it because I never seen nobody's face do that. I didn't even know skin could stretch like that. But yeah, man, that was crazy, man. And you know what? Anybody that's up in Canada probably knows Best Gore because the guy who owned it was from Canada. He was from Canada. But they ended up shutting Best Gore down because he ended up getting sent a video of a prominent person of a government somewhere getting snuffed out. And he posted the video why there is an active investigation going on. So the police got wind of it and they was like, how did you get this video? We didn't even have this video. And so you got to take it down. we're going to confiscate it, and we're about to shut your channel down because you're accepting evidence in major crimes and you're posting it, which is impeding our investigations and da 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 da. So Best Gore got shut down permanently for that. You can't go. You can go watch videos that people have on the internet of it, like little cartel clips and shit, but I would advise you, if you're not into that kind of stuff, to don't even go look at it, because it's some terrible shit. It is some very, very terrible shit, man. If you just want to be happy and alive, then don't even think about Best Gore, because that shit is nothing but the worst ways to go. The absolute worst. Yeah, it's bad. Like, I'm talking about, I mean, some of the shit I seen on there just didn't make no damn sense. Like, it just like why, man? Like, why in the hell? And I'm scared to even talk about some of that kind of stuff because, like, this is YouTube. This is a very PG-13 platform where they have community guidelines. So if I start, like, getting, like, deep off into the shit that was on that website, if they shut him down, they'll shut anybody down. So we ain't even talking about it is a little too much, because it's some real terrible shit, man. But somebody told me about the website at one point in the past. I don't know who, probably one of my family members. You know, I get to watching that shit and I'm like, you know, it is disgusting and disturbing as it was. I was addicted. I was like, damn, why doesn't this shit bug me like it should? Why am I binge watching Best Gore? Why am I finding myself trying to see every damn video on the entire platform? No matter how bad it is, I'm still trying to watch it. I don't know, man. I don't watch it no more, though. I ain't. Because they got all kind of other little offshoot sites like that ain't, you know, really popping like Best Gore was. You know, it was weird, though. Best Gore was extremely racist, too, man. Like, they had a lot of racial slurs on that platform. Like it was a really racist site. Not racist, but, like, you know, just disrespectful of other people's heritages and shit. Like, so I kind of, like, was happy that it got taken down, because I was like, people don't need to know this shit is out there in the world. But one day, all those pictures that he got, all those videos, they will resurface on other platforms, and you will still be able to carry on watching that gruesome, godforsaken stuff. And if you don't have the right mindset or the right stomach, you won't. That shit will traumatize the right person. That shit'll have a person messed up in the head. It'll have some people trying to go out there and do some of that shit. I'll tell you this, though, Mexico don't fuck around, man. So their little cartel videos were some of the worst I've ever seen. You know. But yeah, space is definitely hey, does space legume mean space bean, right? Legume is a bean, right? A bean. That's another word for a bean, right? I might as well read this from Zach. It's just been in my face for some time now. Lord, have mercy on us and save us. Christ conquered death by death and pulled the people out of the Hades, and is for eternity, is why we pray for the dearly departed. Okay, space peanut. I thought it was something. Bean, peanut, one of those. You know, bro, I always wanted to go to space, man. You know, when I was a kid, man, I wrote a letter to the NASA space program and mailed it and everything, right? And then I called them 100 times trying to beg them to let me go. Like, I wanted to go to space camp. and they never would send me. So one summer, right? Um, this was one of the beauties of growing up in California, man. One summer, we got to go out and watch the space shuttle, land in a dry lake bed and shit. Hey man, I seen the space shuttle in person before. When I tell you that's a big ass airplane, man. Hey bro, that's a big ass airplane, homie. Like, the space shuttle is gigantic. And we went to a dry lake bed in California when I was a youngin' to go see it. It was called it was either Rogers Dry Lake or it was China Lake, but I'm pretty sure it was Rogers Dry Lake. They got a lot of dry lakes in Cali, so you get out there and you'll see it looked like a scene out of Independence Day, right? You just see all these people, man. I'm talking about thousands and thousands of cars just parked on a dry lake bed. Nah, man, I stick with gold, brother. I got a little bit more gold in the back, but I used to have a fat gold chain, man. I ended up selling it, which was a huge mistake because gold went up another $2,000 since I sold my shit. No, you know what? It only went up $1,000. I sold it when it went up to around 4,000, or maybe it was 32. Either way it went. If I would have waited, I would have made more money. You think so? 1,000 an ounce? I'll go get some silver. Maybe we can link up, bro, and go on a night of chain snatching. It don't matter if it's gold or silver. We snatching all chains. No violence, just snatch and run type shit. See someone wearing a gold chain, we gon' flank them and stalk them, and then after we get about 10 or 15 chains, man, we'll go hit the jewelry store up there in Canada and see. Man, you'll be making $10,000 a day. You do that shit, bro. I wouldn't even wear my gold right now. Gold is so high, I would not wear my gold. Hey, man, listen. There's a supply shortage of silver right now. Actually, I know a place. It's out of state, but I know a place. I'm talking pounds of silver, pounds of it. Probably close to, I would say. Then again, it's probably not there anymore. I stumbled across a lot of silver once back when it wasn't worth shit. A lot of it though. When I say a lot, it was too much for you to carry. You wouldn't be able to carry it all out. You'd have to make multiple trips to get it all. It would take a little team of 3 or 4 people. But then you would have to get rid of them so you could keep all the money for yourself. On some real TV, movie type stuff. But no, I'm just playing. I do know where there's some silver at though, but I ain't got no money for no silver, man. And then I mess around with cryptocurrency, man. I try to, at least. Right now I'm waiting for I'm waiting to see if Dogecoin is gonna reach 7.5 cents. I'm waiting to see if XRP is gonna reach $1 even, or even under $1 would be nice. I'm trying to see if Bitcoin gonna hit under 50,000. I'm trying to see if we can get Litecoin down to like $46 would be a nice price to buy in at. And what else, man? Shiba Inu. That's too low. I didn't own billions of them. I gave them all back because Maybe one day they'll be worth something, but I don't feel like waiting. I was never in a financial position to buy crypto and sit on it, man. No one's gonna watch silver go to 20 ounces. It'll cost you $2,200. No doubt. Hey, if you already are one of those people that been, you know, because silver's always been easy to get a hold of, especially if you only focused on pure silver, you know, not jewelry silver, because you know jewelry silver is 925. It's mixed with nickel, I believe. It's cut with nickel, so I mean it's the equivalent of having a 14 karat gold chain, but nothing beats a 24 karat gold chain. Only thing with 24 karat, you can't really wear it. It's too soft. You can wear it, but just the slightest little tug, it's gonna break. AI electric cars consuming all the silver. There's a shortage a year from now. You won't be able to touch silver. Oh, okay. Well, if there's a demand for silver now that's different. Because I don't currently have any silver. You know what I mean? But I know a lot of people who do. A lot of people still are careless with silver. Because, you know, there's a lot of people out who just, they're not paying attention to those kind of prices. You know, yeah, I wore all my jewelry in every hood I've ever been in, from California to Detroit. I ain't one of them, man. Like, I wore all my jewelry. Now here's the thing, though. I tuck my chains in. I don't wear my chains out. I never have. If I'm going somewhere nice, I'll pull my chain out. But I always felt like my jewelry was private. You know what I'm saying? Like, but I had a fat gold chain, man. I wore my shit. Man, I wore my shit all through the hood, man. Like, I just barely sold it at the end of last year. I was walking, catching the bus with my only nigga on the bus with gold. But that's because I got it back before I lost my car. See, I was only on the bus because I had lost my vehicle in an unfortunate event, man. I had a nice Buick, man. I had a Buick Lucerne with the V8 in it. I had 20-inch rims, powder coated black on it, black interior. It was a decent car. It would have got me back to California. What's up, Claudia? How you doing tonight? I don't know about rich. If I went and got that silver out of state where I know, yeah, I'd be rich. Cause that shit, there's about 300-400 pounds of silver. About 300 or 400 pounds of that shit. And I seen it with my own eyes. I could have took it that night, but I chose not to. Darth Vader, what's going on, man? We just burning some midnight oil, man. Talking about this, talking about that. Come join the fun, man. We be talking about whatever, man. You know what? I drank a lot of coffee yesterday, and that shit affected my sleep. I stayed up all night last night. But let me tell you something, bro. I made a dope ass video. I made 2 of them. One of them, it didn't do so good. Like, I think the algorithm is trying to get me to do food videos only, but that's, yeah, I did. I didn't crash. I stayed up because my daughter came home from school early because her stomach was hurting. And so I wanted to make some fettuccine Alfredo. So I fried some chicken breasts. I didn't make any videos today though. I fried some chicken breasts, and then she whipped up the broccoli, the noodles, and chopped the chicken breast up. And we had the garlic parmesan and the basil Alfredo sauce. As a matter of fact, I need to put this shit in the fridge right now. Hold on. Oh man, you probably can't see it. Well, you just kind of see it. Ooh, look at that broccoli. Mmm. You know, it's amazing how I'm not all fat. Let me ask you a question, Oscar. A very real question. Why is it that every time I see you come into the chat, you only talk about one thing, you never say nothing else, you don't greet nobody, you don't talk about, all you talk about is how Israel is watching and that how much I would love Tel Aviv. Like, who are you, dude? That's all I want to know is who in the fuck would I ever in a million years be able to find out your true identity? Because you seem like one of those people that are like a part of the propaganda side of society. Like you're just one of the agents, one of the many agents that operate inside the matrix. Like who the fuck are you? Because you come in all the time talking the same shit. Ain't nobody in here born, raised, I don't know nothing about Israel. Nothing. I'm not even interested in Israel. Like, it's not my thing, bro. I'd rather go play basketball. That's all. You always talking about Israel, but you come here to do it. That's my thing, is you come here to do it. I don't care about, I ain't got nothing against Israel, but I'm just saying, why is that the only, it's like you'll hear us talking about all kind of shit. You won't mention nothing that we talk about, but you'll definitely tell us about Israel and how much you love it and how much we'll love it and how much they love to watch us. And I know that they're watching probably in a very derogatory way because, like, I'm sure you've seen the American propaganda about Israel. Like, Israel has a really bad name in America right now. Like, ain't nobody rocking with Israel like that because it's just all this weird shit going floating. I don't have anything to do with it. And then you say we as if like you and 100 other motherfuckers are sitting around a table just tuned in and I ain't got nothing. Maybe I do got something to do with Israel. I just don't know it. Maybe that's what it is. Maybe I should do an ancestor check and make sure my father was my real father. Well, I'm going to tell you like this. If I come across any black people, and this is just a pay it forward type of message. If I come across any black people trying to tell me anything about Israel, I'm going to say, coon ass nigga, get your bought and paid for ass up out of here. Because I don't want to hear it. Tell me about Harlem. Tell me about the hood in Chicago. Don't tell me about Israel. Like, I don't give a damn about Israel. Shout out to Israel, though. I had some partners from Israel. I had a partner named Israel. But I don't give a fuck about no Israel, man. We living in America and we got so many problems, you know. We got so many problems. And like I said, if you just want to keep talking about Israel, if a dude is from Israel, that's one thing. But if you a black nigga coming at me with this shit, man, hey man, you are bought and paid for. So get your bitch ass out of here and get your bitch ass away from me, you coon, boot licking, bitch ass nigga. And that's what I said. That's what I said. That's what I said. You definitely heard me the first time. Coming to me with that bullshit, man. fuck you think this is? You think I'm like you or something? You think I'm like you or something? Bought and paid for ass nigga. But anyways, like I was saying, hey bro, Oscar, hey man, nothing against Israel, man, but I really feel like, hey man, there is no link between me and Israel unless there's something that I'm unaware of, right? There's no links with me and that part of the world. You know, I don't know nothing down to the slightest details. I don't know the single name of a single street in Israel. I don't know a politician's name. I don't know the order of operations. I don't know what type of coffee shops y'all got out there, right? I just don't know. I just don't know. Why do I think that they are trash? Who said that? Who is we, Oscar? Because last time I checked, Oscar is from Mexico. De La Yenta. That's like how? Your name is Oscar De La Yenta. That's not Tel Aviv, bro. That's Mexico. See, man, this shit is getting weird for man, people, this shit is getting weird for me, man. This is getting weird. Why are we living in a I'm gonna tell you why. There once was a time when the gangsters ran society. And then the weirdos got in. And then the weirdos' kids got in. And then the weirdos' kids let the nerds get in. And that, my friends, is what we're suffering from today. The weirdos' kids let the nerds in. And the nerds turned into the weirdos of the future. So now, you want to know why everything's weird? Now you know. Now that sounds more like Israeli to me. That old Oscar de la Hoya type of shit. Yeah. You know what? Okay. Popsicle, sell, anemone, you. That's how I define weird as you. I'm defining weird with your picture. Do I have a real job? I have many jobs, man. I'm the knower of all, master of none, jack of all trades. I do a little bit of everything. I'll shovel your snow if you give me $15. I'll do your wife for you if she knows how to steal your wallet when you sleep. Hey, you're quite welcome. This shit is getting weird. America is no longer cool. It's overrun by clout chasing weirdos. Everything is weird now. I don't know if I'm the only one feeling this, but everything is the people are weird. The thought this satanic shit is weird. This deep state government and how it's got all the minds of the Americans is fucking weird. All this shit is weird. I feel like I'm all by myself out here. It's fucking weird, man. Everywhere you go, it's these same fucking little clone bots. It's like they everywhere. Can't even go to the grocery store. They just stay in there watching you with these eyes that look like they made out of glass with black back stripping behind them. You can't see shit because ain't nothing to see. Am I anti-Trump? Hey, man, are you an investigator? Because why in the fuck are you questioning me about anything? Why don't you... Matter of fact, because I get it. I'm having a live show. I have an obligation. No, I am not anti-Trump. I don't rock with him and I don't rock against him. I don't give a fuck about him. Okay? Some people actually just don't give a damn. Okay? Some people just don't care. I'm not knee deep in bullshit ass politics like you guys. That's some sellout shit. That's some zombie shit. That's worse than being asleep. That's some unalive type shit. If you worried about politics, your ass ain't even alive. You worrying about the wrong shit. Motherfuckers think they gonna vote. Let me ask you a question. If you sink into the bottom of the ocean, are you gonna be able to vote your way back to the top? Huh? Somebody put some cement shoes on your feet and throw you overboard, you gonna be able to vote your way back to the surface? Let that sink in. I don't rock against or for any of the government. As a matter of fact, I am not a part of the government in any capacity. I don't participate in that type of shit. As a matter of fact, I feel like politics should have been the kings of comedy. For as funny as that shit is, they got the best jokes I've ever seen in Washington, D.C. And that's all we talking about. Tel Aviv, Israel, Donald Trump, politics. What the fuck? Who are you guys, man? Like, where did you come from? I remember you get on YouTube and it'd be a bunch of kids and little thugs. When did it get taken over by this kind of shit, man? And then the best this weirdo could do is say Jim Jones. Like, that old watered down ass rapper nigga. Tired of you guys, man. You guys are weird. And you don't even gotta be like that. You choose to be like that. You're fucking weird. Okay? And if ain't nobody told you yet, I love you, man. But I gotta slap the shit out of you and then say, stop being weird, man. I don't like that weird shit, man. All right, I'm back, man. Listen, I apologize, okay? I had to step away from the camera, get myself back together. I don't like weird shit, bro. I don't like weird shit. And I don't think anybody, anywhere, at any time, should ever like weird shit. Yeah, I just had a panic attack. I had to go up there and punch the wall and come back down here. Like, these weirdos, man. But hey, this is my clarification statement. Just for clarification, I don't think I'm better than anybody. Okay? I'm not better than anybody in my chat. I'm not better than anybody anywhere. I am a regular dude making regular moves. But please, I need to ask you guys, stop being weird. Well, that explains it right there. At least Oscar is he's letting it all out right now, man. I can appreciate that, Oscar. You know what? I've ate shrooms before, but they didn't have no effect on me. They were probably like some low grade shrooms. I felt a little something, but I don't know what all the hype was about. And really, the only reason I ate a shroom was because of the hype, right? I ate a shroom and said, I'll never do this shit again. This shit is whack. This shit probably tears up your body somehow. I was just normal controlled substances, bro. Never stepped outside of the lines when it came to the normal, everyday drugs of the streets of America. No crack rock, no heroin, you know. But I'm not gonna say what I did do, but I'll just say I don't even smoke weed anymore, man. Weed is weird. Weed used to be cool, but now weed is weird. Weed makes me feel weird. It be making me act weird. I can't mess with weed. I might smoke once a year. I used to smoke a lot. I probably smoked some of the best weed in America. Growing up in California, oh man, we had access to the best of the best, fellas. Oh, you ain't sober? Okay, well, me, I am very sober, in fact. Oscar says, you have to realize, man, back in the 90s, we used to take a pill. We used to take e-pills nonstop every weekend at raves because we didn't know the long-term effects. I took a e-pill or two, triple stacks. I took a Molly. Wasn't my thing, man. How you gonna take a pill mixed with meth, heroin, synthetic opioids, and all kinds of other shit, and then on top of that, all the byproducts of it, the binding agents and the cheap fillers? Can't do it, man. And then the rise of Fetty Wap. Oh man, we definitely stay away from all white powdery substances. I remember back in the day, right? When Reggie was a thing still. Some of the guys who would grow would go get opioids, heroin, black tar to be exact. And it wasn't uncommon to hear about a person throwing a gram of that shit in a squirt bottle. Not even a gram, like a quarter of a gram or some shit. In some water with a little bit of alcohol and shaking it up until it dissolves and spraying all the buds with it. And then you get it, you smoke it and can't figure out why are you so addicted to marijuana? Because it ain't marijuana you smoking, bro. It is weed, but it's laced weed. And a lot of us grew up smoking laced weed and didn't even know it. A lot of us did. Grew up smoking laced marijuana. It's a damn shame if you ask me. How long have I been sober, Claudia? I don't even know. I'll just tell you this, I'm sober tonight. I was sober yet. No, I wasn't sober yesterday. I drank 3 beers. I drank 3 Coronas yesterday. And that was it. Just 3. They gave me a heartburn attack that's going down in the history books. I'm still feeling residual damage from that heartburn attack. But 3 beers ain't really enough to say you're not sober. But, you know, for me, say no to drugs, kids. All of them. I'm talking about, don't even go to CVS and buy some Advils. If you got a headache, go take a shot of extra virgin olive oil. You'll feel fine. You'll be good, man. You got body aches? Am I sober tonight? I don't know. What's your line of questioning? What's up with that? Your line of questioning. Am I speaking to an officer right now? We doing some law enforcement type of intelligence type of shit right now? Are you sober tonight? Let's talk about you. Are you sober, Claudia? And if you are, is that the way you want to be? Are you happy being sober? Would you prefer being inebriated, under the influence? Would that be your preferred feeling? Cause me, right now I'm just drinking some Pure Life basic ass sink water. That's it. And you know, this is the one I already consumed. And that's it. Other than the boiled eggs, y'all seen, like, I got plenty of boiled eggs, right? I eat another boiled egg, but I sit here and I eat my boiled eggs. Right, so Claudia is on some passive trolling type shit right now. Ha ha ha, I'm guessing you're not sober. And what gave you that indication, Claudia? What about me made you believe in your very colorful mind that I am not sober? Nah. No, I have not, Turbo. I'm very selective when I eat my eggs. I prefer boiled and plain. That's it. Nothing. I don't even put salt and pepper on them. I just eat them for the cholesterol so I can stimulate my brain. See, if I want to stimulate my brain, I'll just go eat some eggs, right? It may take a little bit longer than the drugs, but that cholesterol will nevertheless go straight to my noggin. And then I'll be able to think better. I won't have brain fog. My brain will be eaten. See, the brain needs food just like everything else, right? Kidneys need their own food. The liver needs its food. The stomach needs its food. The eyes, the teeth. Well, one of those brain foods, not the only brain food, but one of the main foods of the brain that's good for your brain is a boiled egg. You know, just eat a boiled egg, bro. And you getting your amino acids, so you're getting your good cholesterol, you're getting your protein, you're getting your amino acids to break it down properly. There's a lot to it, right? But don't get me to talking, because Claudia said I'm under the influence tonight, and she really standing on that. Yeah, no doubt. Every time Organic pops up, you know he got some bullshit to say. So everybody say hi to Organic Production. He's another bought and paid for Negro. I'm not even saying that you black. I just know that you bought and paid for. How much you get paid to be a troll, bro? Do they pay good over there? And I'm going to tell you right now, I wouldn't want to be where you at in California anyway. You probably from Newport Beach somewhere. Which ain't a bad place, don't get me wrong. But since you want to talk about where I'm from, you don't know where I'm from. I'm from this set right here, homie. You see that on my wrist? Where I'm from. Do the process of elimination and tell me what that means. Claudia says she's not sober. She's an alcoholic. In the beginning, you sounded inspirational. I was just curious on your sobriety since yesterday. That's all. 3 beers had you questioning my sobriety. 3 beers. 3 fucking beers. And then you go on to say I sounded inspirational. Well, I'm sorry if that fizzled out, right? You guys shouldn't have started acting weird. Because that's all that happened is everyone started acting weird and it threw me off. Like, okay, well, I can get back to the inspiration, but if everybody's acting weird, I can't do nothing. How you doing, CC Motion? Oh man, I'm just in here swimming through this sea of weirdness. Really treading the waters. I don't care where you from. Oakland? What the fuck does that mean to me? You ain't the type of Oakland cats I grew up around. At all, in any way. You from the good part of Oakland, over the bridge, ass type of nigga. You don't know where I'm from. You don't know nothing about me, man. And I'm going to tell you right now, if you try to guess, you're just going to be wrong. We don't do guessing. Either you know or you don't. Ain't no in between. But everybody, Organic Productions wants us to know he is in fact from Oakland, everybody. Not Oakland County, but Oakland, the city. So let me ask you a question. Organic, does that mean that you got ties to Too Short and people like that? You know, are you down with the hyphy movement? That's a good answer, Turbo. I'm from my mother. That's where I'm from. My mother is the reason I'm from California, not me. I could have been from anywhere. It don't matter to me. You could have made me from Canada, like Drake. I'd have been good with that. Fuck California. I don't give a damn about California. Shout out to the streets, though, man. My young riders out there trooping. I don't even know, man. I don't follow basketball like that, man. I'm not a real big sports fan myself. I do have teams that I follow, like I follow the Detroit Lions and everything. But not a huge sports fan, man. Man, shut your capping ass up, Organics. You don't even speak right, man. You just like you trying too hard to try to fit in, man. Like, I don't care who you hang out with, man. Like, you capping. You're capping. You're capping, you're capping, you're motherfucking capping. It's nothing to me, cuz. Man, it's nothing to me, cuz. I thought cats from Oakland say blood. When y'all start saying cuz up there? Man. Boy, this heartburn is really, really getting to me, man. Hold on. I got a little bit of baking soda left, man. I need some baking soda. All right. I think we're good to go. Sheesh, man. That shit really messed me up. Yeah, definitely sound like a Detroit kid. Now he say I'm from Detroit, man. Hey, Jay Biggs, let him talk, man. Let him talk. I want to see what he says because he really acting like he knows me. I just made a video about you cats acting like you know me. If you know me, just say you know me, bro. He'd be like, yeah, I know you. Your name is such and such and such and such. And I'll be like, okay, yeah, you know what? You know me, man, because you're right. But I did say this, though. Didn't the cats from Oakland used to say blood? These dudes are bought and paid for, man. They bought and paid for. Nothing that the trained eye can't catch, though. Lucky for me, I got 2 trained eyes. I can see you from both of them. And then don't even get me to looking at you with my 3rd eye, because then I'm going to look into your spirit and know that you're unclean, sir. You're bought and paid for. So, take that shit on over there somewhere. You know. Only thing wrong with being bought and paid for is when you step to me. Because I ain't bought and paid for, man. I'm independent to the bone. Everything I do is by myself, by myself. I ain't never going to say nothing to you that another motherfucker told me to say. I ain't never going to do nothing that another motherfucker influenced me to do. And those are big facts. Because I'm my own big homie. Let me say that again. I am my own big homie, right? I should go get a bunch of shirts made with my own face on them, just so I can show you who I look up to. I look up to me. I follow me. I want to be like me. Shout out to me. When I look at that nigga in the mirror, I say, that's a real dude right there, bro. I'm feeling like I feel every day, man. I got a little bit of heartburn. Got some GERD going on. Got some inflammation going on. But my spirit is in stellar shape. I am A-OK. How about yourself, sir? Omni? How are you doing today? How are you feeling today? How is your mental state today? Have you checked your mental health lately? Because I know I haven't. We just hit 102 minutes. We got 9 people listening to this garbage. 13 people liked it. The rest of them said that shit is garbage. But don't worry, I still love you. You know. 5 people just got up out of here. Now we're gonna sit here and look at each other on silence. Because I don't feel like talking. Maybe I'll let you guys watch me eat some eggs. You wanna watch me eat eggs? I'll make it interesting and I'll eat the shell too. That's some real YouTuber shit. Not only are we gonna eat eggs today, folks, we're gonna eat the shell too. So let me see, 60 and 60. So we at what? An hour and 40 minutes. An hour and 44 minutes. That ain't long enough, bro. We ain't running this to no 5 hours tonight, though. I am kind of tired, but I need to let my audience know that I'm all right. I don't have a big audience, but I have a little audience. And I just realized, man, Gracie took off, Chicken took off, a bunch of people left and didn't even say nothing. Maybe my people ain't, they not, maybe they're watching a transformation take place on camera. Maybe they're like, man, this guy was cool for one. He was cool at one point. Well, come give me a hug then, Claudia. I'll give you a hug. A warm embrace. As long as your breath don't smell like rum, I think we'll be all right. As a matter of fact, I don't mind. I don't mind the rum breath. Actually, that would be quite pleasant. It would be intoxicating. I need a hug too. The problem is I can't just hug anybody. Some people try to hug you and pull your energy right out your body. So you can't just hug any old body. You don't even want their hands touching you. I used to not believe in that shit till I look back in my life and I say, you know, when I was a kid, I used to have a lot of old ladies trying to hug me. And now I realized something that was important that I never seen before. These old ladies was trying to steal my energy, man. That's why I was getting all these hugs. It wasn't because I was a little handsome boy. It was because they wanted my light. They wanted to steal my energy. All right? And they did too. Okay. I guess so. I don't know, man. I don't know how to pronounce that name, man. Little goofy shit, but it's all right. What would the world be like without any goofy shit? You know what I'm saying? You have to have a certain degree of goofiness. You know, it keeps the air light. It keeps the mood, you know, keeps the mood light. Oh, I can do vodka, but you know, depending on the vodka, you know, vodka is the one alcohol that doesn't have a scent. As long as you have a clean mouth, I ain't tripping. I can't see you, but it would be nice if I could see you. My eyesight ain't the best that it used to be. But I definitely could use a hug from good peoples though, like just a good old embrace. And see, you know, I would really, I could really go for a hug from my mother right now. She's been gone since 2007, right? So 2017 was 10 years, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25. So she's almost 19 years passed on. I wish I could just hug her one last time. That would feel so good. I'd be happy, right? If I could hug her. And then asked her why she did all that bullshit to me. Yeah, she woke up one day to go to work, and according to my brother and sister, she was feeling slightly nauseated, and so as she was getting ready for work, she felt like she had to vomit, so she went in the bathroom to vomit, and nothing but blood came out, a lot of blood. So she told my brother to call the paramedics, and he called the paramedics, and they came and got her and took her to the hospital. And within, I don't know, 40 minutes, her organs started shutting down on her. And she was, according to bros, she was alert off and on, but she kept losing consciousness, and then she would wake back up. She would talk to him. Some of it was incoherent, some of it wasn't. And one of the things that she told my brother was to take care of me, as if that nigga could take care of me. I take care of myself, but he did get me a job though, so that was cool. When I got out of prison, he got me a job, a good job too, man. One of the best jobs I ever had, and I kept that job for about 10 years. So I definitely didn't make him look bad, right? I kept that job for 10 years, man, and then, you know, to make matters worse, right? She had applied for Social Security, and she got denied, and then she passed away, and then they approved her. Oh, what's going on? Iran in the house. Watch out, Iran. There's some Israelis running around, man. Not trying to start nothing, just saying. Yeah, I see you respelled that word, but I didn't know what it was the first time. Um, um, so she passed away while I was in prison, right? And I remember it was a real shitty situation because we was on lockdown in the prison because the black inmates had attacked the Mexican inmates, and a bunch of people got stabbed and shot. And so I'm chilling in my room. It's about, I don't know, 10 o'clock in the morning, and they come up to my cell and say, I need to come out the cell and go down to the office and talk to the priest. So I'm like, the priest? And so I already knew something was up, right? Hey, no doubt about it, man. Hey, Kirk says to enjoy the rainbows, first you got to enjoy the rain. But let me tell you, in addition to that, Kirk, in order to enjoy the rain, you have to be willing to deal with the mud that comes with it. But I knew that something was wrong when they said that the priest wanted to talk to me. I knew somebody had passed away. I just didn't know who it was, right? So I get down there, right? I get on the phone, and my auntie that I haven't spoken to in years is on the phone, and she's telling me that my mom passed away. And I was like, where's my brother and my sister at? How come they didn't call me? And so I just went back up in the cell and cried in front of my cellie, man. I broke right on down in front of my homie. And you know what? He didn't care because he knew it was my mother. He was like, you know what? It's your mom, bro. Let that shit out. I'm like, hell yeah, it's my mom. And so that night that I got the phone call, I put this tattoo on my arm, man. That same night, I put rest in peace to Vicky, man. The same night that she died, I got this tattoo, man. Same night. But it was just bad because I was only 3 months away from being released. We just went through a major incident where the black inmates attacked the Mexicans. And that's a whole nother story. I can get into why that happened, but we were on lockdown because of it. And we were like going into our first week. So I was already like constrained and a little bit stressed. So to get that information really just messed me up. But no, we don't break down these days, man. I didn't been through I lost my father back in 1994, so I've been having no parents through a young age for the last 20 years, bro. You know, I'm just glad that I wasn't the one who passed away. And you know, they say that the children are supposed to outlive the parents. And that's what we did. So um, I'm glad that she didn't have to bury none of her sons, right? And I was a knucklehead in the streets, man. I carried weapons and shot them and all that. But somehow throughout the years, I was able to stay alive, right? And I'm still here today. But so I got this tattoo, man. That night that I got the phone call. I got the phone call in the morning, and you know, I went ahead and cause I was the tattoo man. You know, I had just did a tattoo on my cellmate, and so I already had all the stuff. I had my own needle. You know, I'm very clean when it comes to shit like that. So I went ahead and I told him I drew up a pattern, and I got this blasted on me. I actually got this tribal band that same night too. I got this tattoo and this one that same night. I don't know why I did this one. This was just one that I've been having. It was a pattern. That's where it breaks at right there. This was one that I've been having and I just wanted it. So I was like, since I'm finna get a tattoo, bro, go ahead and put this one on me too and then color it in. So that's what we did, right? I cried for a little while though. That shit had me mad. I was more mad than sad because I already knew she was sick. But like, I was only 3 months away from the house, man. 3 months later, I got out. But you know that the silver lining was that she had got approved for her SSI. So I was over at this girl's house. I had met this girl that was a manager at Macy's, right? And young freak. I liked her though. She was from Alabama. And so I got tattoos on my back, on my chest, my shoulders. I got tattoos on my legs. I don't have any on my neck. I never liked neck tattoos, man. I was smart enough not to do any neck tattoos, man. But oh heck yeah, that's what's happening. Kirk's got a gecko. I like geckos, man. When I used to live up north, when I used to live in Northern California, I used to catch geckos and snakes. Bro, do you know there was a time in my life where I had like jars of snakes? Like I had a bunch of snakes and geckos. And my snakes and my geckos, they liked me, man. I used to let them out the jar and they wouldn't even try to take off. They'd just hang out. You know, it's weird. I found this little snake pit, bro. I found where the eggs hatched, and I just would go to it every day and just pick up all the snakes. They weren't poisonous, right? They were little garden snakes. So I used to just grab like 5 of them at a time. I wasn't scared of snakes, and I'd put them in this big mason jar that I had, and I would walk around and show everybody all these snakes, and they would be all freaked out by them. And I'm like, man, y'all some pussies, man. And then I'd mess with the snakes for a while, and I'd go put them back. And but I used to catch geckos too, man. These little tiny geckos. I used to let them walk on my finger. That's how small they were. It would just walk out like it was walking on the plank. I thought geckos was so cool when I was a youngin', man. I used to catch spiders, all kinds of spiders, man. I done caught poisonous spiders, tarantulas, scorpions. I don't know if you know what a camel spider is, but I ain't never caught one of those. But I could have. One day I was walking to work, bro, and there was one in a little storm drain, and I seen him, and he looked exhausted. And I probably could have caught him, but I'm kind of scared of those fucking things, man. I don't like the way they look. But I'm gonna tell you the story about how we ended up on lockdown when I got the call that my mom passed away, right? Um, I wasn't even involved in it because so what had happened was the night before the incident, right? We had got a big announcement over the loudspeaker. So I'm gonna have to rewind back a little further than that. So there was a big incident in this particular prison where the blacks and Mexicans had an uprising against each other, and some people lost their lives, right? Some Mexicans lost their lives. And so it kept happening. Like there was incidents, just little random little fires that kept popping up. So the institution decided to take the Southsiders off the yard and lock them down permanently. So what they did was they immediately went into litigation mode, and they filed a federal lawsuit against the prison, violating their constitutional rights. And that lawsuit went on for about 3.5 to 4 years. And anyways, after the fourth year, they got granted the return back to general population, even though that every time they're out there, there's all these incidents where people get hurt really bad, in some cases unalive. So anyways, I was there when they made their return, bro, and I was on the door when the first wave of them came in. When I say I ain't never seen a group of dudes looking so scared in my life, and those dudes are like, they're not known for looking or being scared. So it's all respect from the South for the Southsiders. But that ain't the point. They knew that a war was coming, and so they were like, they came walking in the unit. They ain't been in general population in a long time, so they looking around like, damn, it's about to get real. So then they brought into my unit, they brought about 40 of them, right? They kind of split them. Let's say, for example, I was on unit 4D, and then there's the dividing wall, and then there's 4C, right? And so we were still able to walk up to the dining hall for our meals and shit. So when they came in, it was already the end of the night. It was like 8 o'clock, so it wasn't no more movement outside of the unit until the next morning. So the next morning came, and they let out 4C first, and the homies attacked the Mexicans. And the officer that was working in the gun tower that day was a friendly to the blacks, so he started shooting at the Mexicans. He blew one Mexican's foot off, and they had knives, but they didn't have general population knives. And so it was bad. It was bad. We even had to get rid of one of my homies because of it, because come to find out, he was a chump. He took off running, talking all that shit, but as soon as something real happened, he took off running. So we went on lockdown, and my side never came out. And by the time we got off of lockdown, I had transferred to another unit, so I was never involved in that incident. I got lucky, man, you know? And I wouldn't call it lucky. I just felt like maybe God just didn't want me to be a part of that, because it would have got me more time, and I wouldn't have got out in 3 months. So I was still able to get out on time. And when I got out, I met this girl that worked at Macy's. Um, I was walking one night, and she was walking, and we kind of crossed paths. And I don't know if any of you guys ever walked past a girl that like you were vibing with, and you could feel the energy between y'all. And like we knew immediately we were gonna fuck with each other. Like right away, there was no doubt in mine or her mind, we're gonna do it. So that's what we did. And then, it was like this little intense little, I don't know what the fuck you would call what we had, but it was just little real intense little quick relationship. And anyway, I was over at her house while she was at work one day. I was asleep too. I had me a big bag of weed, and I was in the house, sleep with the air conditioner on. Las Vegas at 11 a.m. in the summertime, it'd be 100 degrees outside. So, it's typical to find somebody sleep in their house with the AC on full blast. But I get a knock on the door because my brother knew where I was at. So he knocks on the door, right? I let him in, and he got his girl with him. And he goes, "Oh, this your new girl spot?" I'm like, "Yeah, you know me, man. Big player. I stay with something on tuck." So, anyways, this nigga reach in his pocket, right, and pulls out $3,300 in cash and was like, "Here, this for you." And I'm not even expecting no money, so I'm like, "What is this for?" And he was like, "You remember that Social Security that mom had applied for before she passed?" I'm like, "Yeah." He was like, "I've been going to court dates, man, because she got approved, but I had to get all of her financial information signed over to my name so I could cash the checks." I'm like, "What? Yeah, right." And he was like, "You see that money on the table, don't you?" I'm like, "Oh, man." I told him right on time because I swear that money was right on time. You know what I did with that money? I went and bought a lowrider, man. I bought an 84 Cutlass Supreme, and then I bought a set of rims. And then I put some new tires on the rims, and I got the rims buffed out. And so I was riding around in a cherry red 84 Cutlass Brougham, sitting on 14-inch all chrome Daytons. And I bought old girl a moped. That way she didn't have to walk to and from work. I bought the moped from my sister's gay friend. She had this friend that lived next door to her. A little white dude, he was gay. Him and his boyfriend, right? So I bought her I didn't buy her the moped, I bought the moped for myself. Cause he was selling it. He had got this new yellow one, and I asked him what he was gonna do with this little silver one. He said he's gonna sell it. So I said, "What you want for it?" He told me too much. I said, "I'll give you $400 for it right now. I got it in my pocket." He was like, "All right, give me 400." So I handed him 400. He gave me the keys and the little moped, little title information, and I rolled around on it because I already had the Cutlass, but my Cutlass needed plates. You know, out there on the West, you got to get your car smogged. You can't just buy a car, jump in it, and drive. You got to go get it smogged and all that bullshit. So I was waiting for that. Man, I was dipping through Las Vegas on a moped, man. Then I got tired of it. I was like, this thing ain't even fast. I'm going to give it to Constance. That was her name, right? So I gave it to her. What you mean, where am I at in life right now? I'm in the state of Michigan. I'm currently unemployed, looking for a job in the middle of the wintertime. Very uncomfortable place. I'm a single man, even though I live with my baby mama. I'm single, and that's where I'm at in life. In a nutshell, you know what I'm saying? And I got two women that live on either side of me, and they both are attractive. and one of them, well, never mind. I ain't even gonna speak on it, but there's more to my story, but it like now is not the time. You feel me? But at that time in my life, I was doing good, man. I was working, and I was trying to raise the money for a car. So when he gave me that money, I was like, boom, I got the money for a car. So I went and got a car. I bought an 84 Cutlass Supreme with a sunroof, with all leather interior. And I had a red light. And I'm not even a fan of red, as you can see with my blue hat. I ain't even a fan of red like that. I had every blood in the city trying to buy my car off of me, man. And then when I was riding through the city, all the little lowrider clubs wanted me to join their club because my Cutlass was clean, man. My shit was clean as hell. No dents. I had a little tiny dent in the front, but it was like barely. But I had all the chrome. The paint was in good shape. It was a good car, man. That motherfucker was nice. And you know what's so messed up? I ain't even got no pictures of it, man. I didn't even take no pictures, man. I ended up losing that car to the police. They took me to jail one night and impounded the car. And that was the end of it. I couldn't afford to get it out of impound. They auctioned that motherfucker off. A couple of my partners that know me said that they seen the car down at the auction, and if they would have had the money, they would have helped me get it back. But I was like, hey man, don't even worry about it, man. Shit. I done had many cars since that one. I done had trucks, cars. I ain't had no more motorcycles or nothing because I don't ride bikes, but I had many whips since then. I had a Chevy Malibu. I had a Buick LaCrosse. I had two Buick LeSabres. I had a gold one and a white one. I had a Buick Lucerne. I had a Buick Enclave. I had a Buick Regal. I had a Ford Explorer. I had a Ford Taurus. What else did I have, man? I already said a Ford Explorer, huh? Yeah, that was. Oh, and I had a '86 Jaguar XJ6. But I actually had the Jag at the same time I had the Cutlass, right? I bought the Jag off the same dude that sold me the rims for my Cutlass. It was a bucket, but it ran, so I bought it. I bought that car for $400 and drove that bitch 15 miles across the valley with no brakes. That shit barely even stopped, man. I drove that car 15 miles with no brakes. And think about it. It wasn't an '86, it was an '82. That's why I bought it, because it was the year of my birthday. An XJ6 with the two, it got two gas nozzles on each side of it. It was like sky blue with wood grain. It was raggedy though, but it ran, so I drove it. And my plan, I was gonna fix it up. I was getting a little bit of money. And Melanie, what's going on? From Canada, with love. And so, you know, I ended up going back to prison though. After my mom died, I went back again. You know, I got in trouble for a gun case. I don't even remember why I was in prison for when she passed away. I don't even remember. I have to do the math on the timeline because I'm trying to think, what was I in prison for that time? I don't remember. I used to do a whole bunch of little petty crime shit. I was a little petty crook. I ain't gonna lie to y'all. I was a petty crook. Everything I did was under $5,000 on paper. I done did a few Tom Cruise type of missions, but I didn't get in trouble for that. You know, I used to trip out too. Like, I used to always get in trouble for the little shit, right? But I used to always get away with the big shit that would have got me a lot of time. I never got in trouble for the big shit, but I used to stay getting caught up for the little shit, man. But I guess that's cool because that's the reason that I'm still here today, man. Even though if you didn't know no better, you would think I'm sitting in a prison cell. White shirt, white wall, snapback cap. I look like I'm in jail, but I'm not in jail. I'm sitting in my kitchen, man, because everybody else is asleep right now. So I don't want to wake nobody up with my bullshit. So I come to the kitchen and just vibe out, you know, as long as ain't nobody being too weird. Everything will go smooth. You know, it's 1:47 in the morning, but I got plenty of rest because I slept. I don't know, I didn't sleep very long today, but them couple hours I slept, man, I slept. You ever went to sleep for just like 2 or 3 hours, but when you woke up, you were like, damn, that was some good sleep. Like that was a heavy sleep. Like I didn't dream, nothing. It was just black all the way till I woke up. Didn't dream about shit. That's how you know when you had a good sleep, when you don't have to astro travel because you too tired, right? That's what I call dreaming, is astro traveling, right? And you ain't gonna astro travel if you're tired. You ain't gonna do it, man. Damn, my hair coming all out and shit, man. Maybe I'll get my hair braided this week, man, or this weekend. I know how to braid my own hair too, man, but I'll be too lazy, man. I got back problems, so I don't be sitting in the mirror trying to put my hair together, man. I learned how to do that shit when I was locked up, man, because, you know, you got all the hours you need to learn to do some shit when you locked up, man. But I didn't even astro travel today, man. I was too, but that's why I got some good sleep, because that's how you know when you astro traveled, you wake up tired. That means you wasn't even asleep. You just switch consciousnesses so you could go somewhere else. People don't really know about that kind of shit, right? People think when you sleep, you just sleep, but that ain't the truth, man. That's why your ass will wake up tired, because you went somewhere in a different consciousness. You know, it's when you go into sleep mode, your brain goes into a totally different. It's a like I like to tell people this, man. Your brain is a world within itself. It's like there's a whole world inside of our mind, a whole entire planet. Like you can go anywhere in your mind, right? You can go anywhere, right? It's a literal world. So when you go to sleep, you travel that world, man. Do I remember the moon landing? No, I wasn't around in 1969. And even if I was, the Russians were the first people to touch the moon in the Sputnik. Yeah, Shlomo. That's a strange name. I've been a lot of places. I've seen a lot of things, man. Shit that'll make you laugh, shit that'll make you cry, shit that'll make you upset for the rest of your life. But one thing about it, man, I kept a light heart through it all. So I'm not really, even though I get upset from time to time for what these people did to me, I don't hold it against them, because, at the end of the discussion, man, it's like, first of all, you can only live the life that you was given, no matter how shitty it is. And, you can only do what life allows you to do. So if you wasn't born successful, if you're not from a wealthy family and none of that shit, because none of that was my reality, man. My mom was a drug addict, poverty-stricken mother that had people that could have helped her, but because she was on drugs and she had light-skinned children, they wasn't willing to help. They just wanted to stand by and watch us, right? And so that was my experience growing up. And it led to me getting in a lot of trouble, right? It led to me running the streets, messing around with the gang culture. Growing up in California, that's all the things you're gonna do. But what if I told you this? We were born first generation Californians. My mom wasn't from California. Neither was my father. Neither was his siblings. They were all from the South or other parts of the country. The only reason that we ended up in California was because my grandfather was in the Air Force and he got a really good job in California working on the base after the Army. My grandfather went to Vietnam. He got discharged because he got shot. He became a mechanic and a welder and, just really good at what he did, right? Made a lot of money in his career. And they settled down in California after my mom and her sister and their brother was already born. They moved to California, right? She grew up, graduated high school, and then she wanted to go see what Los Angeles was like because they lived in a little small town in the desert, right? They didn't know about LA. They just would see it on TV, and that's where all the stars. My mom met Michael Jackson, man, at the airport back in the 80s. He pulled up in a black limousine, and she was right there. And so she wanted to go to LA though, she had heard all these stories. They growing up in a little town in the desert. They want to go see what's in the big city, right? So she run away to LA and get mixed up with this black nigga and then have kids by him. And then start running the streets like him. And then we move up to Seattle after I'm born, right? So I lived in Washington State for a couple years. I lived up in Washington a few times. I lived up in Washington twice. First we lived in the city, and then I moved back up there again with my aunt, and I lived on the island for about 2 years, where you had to catch a ferry to the mainland every time you wanted to go grocery shopping. And she drove us around in a red and white Volkswagen Beetle bus with shag carpet and wood panel fucking walls, right? With no seats. No seats. There was no seats in the van. There was just the driver's seat and the passenger seat. So I would get in the Volkswagen bus van and I would just lay it out on the carpet, man. The brown shag carpet. I'll never forget that fucking van, man. You know, me and my cousin Kalina, bro. That was back when life was simple, back before everybody turned into demons and shit. Right now, everybody's a demon right now. Everybody got something to hide. Everybody's harboring secrets. But back then, we was just kids. You know what I'm saying? Everything was good. We wasn't worried about snaking each other out for no money. You know, people weren't, you know, having their little secrets and harboring fucking hidden truths and shit. So, you know, I enjoyed living up there, man. You know what I'm saying? I really did, man. And part of the reason for that was back when a person was still innocent, man. When, right? It ain't innocent no more, though. Make no mistake about it. Ain't shit innocent right now, man. I can't even trust my folks at all. Wouldn't trust them if they paid me $1 million to trust them. I'd take the $1 million and get as far away from them as I could, right? But at any rate, we used to push around Vashon Island in the Volkswagen bus. I still remember days when it was hot and sunny. It was a nice day up in Washington on the ocean. And we'll drive up the little 2-lane road to the end of the road where the ferry docks. The ferry would show up and we would drive the van up onto the ferry and I'd watch the gate lift up. And I'd watch my aunt put the bus in park and put the e-brake on. And then we can get out and go hang around on the ferry till it makes its way across the Puget Sound. And then we had to get back in the van. And then they would let the gate down and we would drive off the ferry. And then we was all through Tacoma, Seattle for the rest of the day, whether we was going shopping, hitting up the park, you know, at the library. I miss living up there, man. It was real nice back then, man. It was real. It's probably still nice, but, you know, it's been a long, long time since I've been up there, right? So anyways, so my mom left my dad up there in Seattle, right? You know, he had tried to kill me, man. He picked me up with a belt by my neck, and my heart ended up stopping twice. And the paramedics had to revive me and shit, right? And so I ended up surviving and shit, right? But you know, after that, she was like, "Well, we gotta go back to California. I gotta go to my mom's house, or I'm gonna end up unalived up here, because you know my pops was acting crazy, man." And this was all according to her, right? I remember some of it. Like I remember getting strangled with the belt. I remember that shit, man. He held me on the door of a motel room, and I remember looking down at the bed, and my sister was, one of them was holding the Bible. And I just remember everything was going black. And I'm like, I didn't even know what was happening. I didn't know I was about to die, right? I was too young, right? But my mom had told me that my heart stopped on me twice. And they was inside the motel room pumping on my chest trying to get it back started, right? So I guess it worked because, you know, I'm still here. And after that, we moved back to California, man, right? We get to California. back to the desert. Now I get to see where my grandmother lives, where my mom grew up at, with their little AstroTurf on the porch, right? They had AstroTurf on the porch. That's one of the memories I still remember. And she made us sleep on the porch. She wouldn't allow us in her house and shit. And my grandfather, he really wasn't liking the fact that she had kids by a black man. My grandfather hated that shit. He couldn't take it. He didn't even want to be around my mom because of it. He resented her pretty much her entire life because of it, right? And so, you know me, I just started breaking into shit, man. I was breaking into everybody's house. I was stealing guns and going and shooting them, and I was a mess when I was a youngin', man. When I was about 10 or 11. But you know why? The adults made me that way, because I used to sit there and watch my mother's friends steal shit and get away with it. So she would take me to Kmart. You know, back then Kmart was popping still, right? Kmart was everywhere you could go. And in some Kmarts you could buy food at Kmart, right? Kmart was the first Walmart. You know, only my 80s babies remember Kmart for real, for real. This was before Walmart. But anyways, I remember we went to Kmart one night, and I stole a Casio watch and a Chicago Bears hat. It was so easy, man. I just was amazed how easy it was to steal, right? But then my mom found out when we got back to the car that I had stole this hat and this watch. And you know, that was also back before all this digital shit. So the only thing they could do to stop stealing was they had to follow you around the store. But it was easy to steal in the 80s. Like, man, bro, it was so easy to steal shit in the 80s and the 90s. Golly. But that was my life, right? So anyways, man, she marched me back into the store, embarrassed the hell out of me, made me give the stolen items back. They wanted to take me to jail. They didn't even care that we returned them. The store wanted me to go to juvie, but she was able to talk them out of it. So I went home and I got a royal ass whooping for it, right? But that didn't stop me, man. I was stealing shit the very next day, you know. And it's because that's what I was watching them do. You feel me? Not to mention, my pops tried to kill me up in Seattle. He tried to kill her too. My sister said he molested her. I don't know. That I just found that out this year. And so, you know, I look back and I say, damn, my humble beginnings wasn't really humble at all. The only difference between now and then was back then we was all innocent versus today, where everybody's harboring some shit. Whether it's resentment for another family member, whether it's some secrets about someone who passed away, whether it's, you know, me being a mixed dude having half white and black family, and they both have a hard time like accepting us. You know, I just found my own lane and moved to Michigan and thought it was gonna work out well here, but you know, it didn't. It just didn't. It was other shit in the mix. So, you know, it was cool for a minute though. Like, I got to really explore the state of Michigan. You know, I got to go hit up the Great Lakes and the Detroit River and start a YouTube channel and raise 2 daughters. And, you know, ain't none of my other family out here. I'm the only one, right? I got a cousin that lives in Los Angeles. He owns some houses out here, but I don't even fuck with him like that, man. I was messing with him when I first came out here. We was cool, but he started rubbing me the wrong way, so I backed up off of him, man, because He's another one of those motherfuckers, man. Shit was cool back when we was kids, when everything was innocent. But I don't know what happened, man. It's like, shit, my family grew up and became extremely treacherous. Just some dirty motherfuckers. So, you know, it was not even worth the trouble to try to, like, I would have to say all the glue in the family passed on, right? You know what the glue is. Most people do, right? The glue is the people that keep the family linked together, right? Even like not necessarily distant relatives, but just relatives that don't live in the same city or state. And you will be able to talk to your cousins because your mom will call their mom. And sometimes they'll want to come visit, but once they passed away, my mom, my grandmother, you know, my auntie, that was the glue. And now everything broke apart. People chose sides. I come from a family that likes to choose sides, right? And I don't even mean choosing sides in the way that you think. I come from the kind of family that likes to choose sides, bro. Like, we go and set out in my family to make our own family, right? And that becomes our family. And then we abandon our blood family, you know. I can count a number of people in my family who did that. They turned their friends into their family. They turned strangers into family. And that's fine. Like, you can do that. But the thing is, you giving them the respect and the love that belongs to your blood relatives, especially the ones who ain't dirty, who ain't did no conniving shit to you. That was just a real loving family member that would have killed and died for you. You know what I'm saying? But you decided that not only did you want to go look for a whole new family, but on top of that, you took the love and the respect level that was supposed to be reserved for your original blood family and gave it to a stranger. And that I can't respect or rock with, because I ain't did shit to none of my family. I fucked my cousin's girl, but that's because he fucked mine. We was fucking each other's girlfriends behind each other's backs, you know. But that's the only thing I ever did, man, was I fucked my cousin's girl. And he didn't even care about her like that. He was just mad because I did it, not because he cared about her. He didn't care about her. You know, just like I didn't care about the bitch he was fucking. We didn't care about them hoes. But it was just the principle of it. Oh, so you gonna fuck my bitch? All right, well, I'm gonna fuck yours then, because he fucked mine first. Let's just get that straight. He went behind my back first. So, you know, but that was, only reason I even brought that up was that was the only thing that I would consider coming close to crossing one of my family members, right? But like I said, he did it to me first. So, and you know what? I'm gonna tell you something else. His girl came on to me. First, she was so slick with it, bro. She brought me a female. She brought me her homegirl. And then let me hit it right in front of her. So I did, right? And so I knew it was just a matter of time before I got to, you know, hit that too. But, you know, she pulled me to the side and she told me, hey, I want to mess with you because your cousin messed with your girl behind your back, but don't tell him. And I'm like, man, don't be lying to me, bitch. And she was like, no, I swear to God, he been smashing your girl. You just didn't know. So since that's what he wants to do, I want to know if you want to hook up. And I'm like, absolutely. And it was a white chick. So, you know, we did our shit, you know, and I felt bad about it later, which I don't know why I feel bad about doing the same shit to people that they do to me. He didn't feel bad when he did it to me, and it was unprovoked. You know, going behind my back to try to sleep with my woman. And that's why I stopped giving a damn about her, because that's the kind of shit she was on. So I was like, how can you care about a female that'll go fuck your cousin? How could you care about? I don't. We didn't have no kids together, so it didn't really matter. Not that particular situation, but he did it to me first, and his girl brought the information to me. because she agreed that that was some dirtbag shit. How you gonna go behind your cousin's back and get at his girl, and then his girl so sorry she gonna actually do it? You feel me? So we did our thing, right? But that was the only thing, man, and that was more out of retaliation than anything. That wasn't me being a dirtbag or nothing like that. That was just me. And you know what? I told him to his face I did it, by the way. I told my cousin to his face that me and his girl laid down on multiple occasions. And the reason why is because she was mad that you went behind my back and you laid down with my girl. So, because I put it to him like that, let me tell you the outcome to it. He never said nothing about it because he knew. Like, yeah, that's what I did. Like, yeah, that's what you did. Karma's a motherfucker, ain't it? I bet you didn't expect for your girl to turn disloyal, but she did. So I got my lick back. It was a surprise lick. I could have did without the pussy. I didn't need to lay down with her. I was cool just being her friend. But when you doing dirty shit in front of your lady and she seeing that, she ain't gonna respect you. Especially when you hanging out with a nigga that you doing dirty behind his back and you letting your girl know. Like, cats be getting these women confused and messed up. Like, hey man, if you gonna do some shit, you don't let your girl know especially if you laying down with your cousin's girl and you let your girl find out. Like, what kind of shit is that? Of course she gonna turn on you, man. A woman is not gonna respect a man who does some shit like that. You know, I don't know where she's at today. I know where my girl is at. She laid up with another nigga right now in Las Vegas. But I don't know where his girl is at. I ain't even gonna speak on her, man. Hopefully she went back home to Pennsylvania. Right. I mean, Bob, absolutely. That's common sense, bro. But like, you know what? Like I said, my family, they're conniving, so they got these egos, these overinflated synthetic egos where they think they better than people, right? So like, I like that kind of shit though, because here's why. Hey man, if your ego is overinflated and synthetic, that means when I do something to get my lick back, bro, you gonna wanna bury your head in the sand. You're gonna be so humiliated because you acted out of overinflated fake ego, thinking you were doing something, thinking that, I don't know what he was thinking, but like when I got my lick back, he was real upset about it because I guess he thought he played me. And I was like, hey, bro, the wheel, you better go listen to that song. The wheel in the sky keeps turning, right? It keeps on turning, homie. So just because you did some bullshit, just know it's only a matter of time before that wheel come back around. And it did, right? But like I said, man, I ain't never did nothing else to nobody else in my family, man. I never stole nothing from nobody. I never backstabbed my people. Man, I barely even talk shit about my folks because the way I was raised, the fact I've been locked up so many times, I knew sitting on that prison yard, seeing a lot of cats lose family members, I knew that your family is all you got and you got to ride for them. But these niggas never been through that. So these niggas was unstructured and undisciplined and just was willing to do whatever, you know, just be as dirty as you want to be. And you know, that's why we ain't together to this day, because of shit like that. Being born into a scandalous family and being around a bunch of scandalous individuals with a lot of secrets, and a lot of dirt, a lot of bullshit they done did. And so I'm by myself nowadays. I'm way out the way, man. I'm so far out the way. They gonna have to spend some money to get to me. But you know, hey man, I'm just from where I was to where I'm at. Even though I'm still encountering bullshit in my life, it ain't nothing compared to what it was though. I can deal with bullshit from strangers, but I don't like dealing with bullshit from my own family members, man. That shit right there will cause me to cause great bodily harm to one of you niggas, man, because like you supposed to be my folks, and I grew up in such a way that I taught myself about family values. Didn't nobody teach me? Look at you niggas. Nobody taught you niggas, you know, but I taught myself from being incarcerated in a cell, not getting no mail, watching my homies lose loved ones and not get no money sent to them, and not being able to use the phone, and walking around angry and sad and depressed because they done caught 10 years and they family won't even fuck with them. Not because they did something wrong, but because, you know, they family ain't got it like that. So I always looked at my folks like shit. I love my folks, man. When I was locked up this last time, my sister, man, she turned the phone on for me, sent me a package, and put some money on my books, man, and let me stay with her when I got out. So, you know, my sister, that's my favorite sibling of all time, is my sister, man. And I'll do anything for my sister, man. Anything, man. If she need me to fly out somewhere and handle some business, I will. You know, because she looked out at a time, and even though she did her little share of bullshit, I can't compare it to what, you know, other siblings did. Like, she never did no major betrayals, like, you know, give me a bunch of drugs and say, hey, can you go put this in the car for me? And as I'm walking to the car, she on the phone with the police saying, all right, get him, he got the drugs on him. So, you know, that's the kind of shit my other siblings would have done, right? Straight setup artists, right? But my sister wasn't like that. As a matter of fact, even though my sister was older than me, she's still older than me, but even though she's older than me, my sister used to take examples from me, right? She used to, and so we followed each other, and for that, you know, I really fuck with my sister, man. She does piss me off sometimes, but I mean, that's normal. That's expected. But like, you know, I wish we could go back to when shit was innocent, and you know, people didn't have hidden motives and, you know, conniving intent for each other. You know, always trying to, you know, imagine being from a family that's willing to rob you just on some practice type shit. Like, I'm gonna go rob my brother just so I could practice what I'm gonna do to one of these other niggas out in the streets. You know, it's that dangerous, man, out here, man, dealing with these fake fraud ass family members, man. You got to really pay attention and like know who you around, even when you around your people, man. And I learned that the hard way. I definitely learned that the hard way, but you know what? I'd rather learn the hard way than not learn at all, because there's some cats in the cemetery who didn't get a chance to learn. They had to learn the ultimate way, what ultimate betrayal is. I know what ultimate betrayal is, but they ain't been able to execute their little ultimate betrayal yet. They've been trying, but they ain't been able to pull it off. They might one day. I don't know. Who knows what the future holds for me, man? But whatever it holds, we'll see. Because as of right now, I'm alive and I'm well, and I'm not in the best health, but I'm not in the worst neither, man. Right? I could get up and walk down the block, no problem. I could run. I could run backwards if I wanted to. I got some stomach problems. I got some back problems. But other than that, man, I ain't no different than an old beat up car with some damn miles on it. It still runs, it's still gonna get you where you need to go, and it ain't no telling how long it's gonna run. But as of right now, this motherfucker is solid. Hey, I'll be right back though. Turkey slavery was going on. So we about to wind it on down here in a minute. Dog then came out. Let's see if he come back in here. You looking good tonight though. We are right where we supposed to be. I don't know, I think some people fell asleep on my live though, man, cause it's didn't maintain the number for a while, but it keeps getting this dead space where ain't nobody saying nothing. I had to break my concentration for a minute, and It's late though. It's 2:22, man. I didn't said everything I need to say for tonight anyway, man. I just wanted to tap in with y'all, man.